Hey guys, Jared Lintner here with Alex Davis. You know, last year at Guntersville, the Conquest came out, new series of rods, and both of us were like, man, these things are awesome. I mean, in your hand, just, they're super light. You can tell they're gonna be sensitive, but now over the past year, we've both had the opportunity to fish with them in a tournament setting as well as guiding and, you know, fun fishing. So I know you have a couple models that you're in love with, and obviously I got my high power action here.
My first one's an 842 SJR, it's spinning rod. That thing to me, I kind of messed with it. Me and you talked about it, and I started throwing the ball head with a little swim bait, and I was super long cast, lots of power. I mean, last week at Lanier, when I was at Lanier, that was the rod I was throwing, fishing really deep brush piles, big spotted bass, and that thing performed flawlessly. You know, wacky rigging, shaky heading, throwing that little swim bait, Ned rig. That rod to me is probably the most sensitive and the lightest rod I've ever put in my hand. So in a tournament setting, these rods, I mean, this rod in particular is just, it doesn't have any fatigue on me, and I don't feel like I'm never gonna miss one. I mean, miss one on my behalf, but the rod's never gonna let me down as far as feeling a bite or anything like that. But right. I know you are you're the opposite.
Yeah. But let me comment on the 842. At the St. Lawrence River this past year, I was catching those big smallmouth, and the bites, you know, with that current, you really had to be on top of those bites, and it was amazing, the sensitivity in that rod. So landed and caught a bunch of big smallmouth on that. But like you said, one extreme to the next, 905, 7'6". I've done everything with this rod. At first I was like, man, it's just for, you know, 1 ounce jigs. But here at Santee Cooper, I was actually throwing a weightless Senko on it, and I really like the power. You think I'm crazy, but the sensitivity and the power these rods deliver, you know, with the Spiral-X and the high power X technology, it's amazing.
You jacked that 6-pounder the other day, and I saw real quick that rod and you just hand in hand.
Yeah. Again, versatility. All these rods are MBR, mag bass rods. So whatever you feel like that rod is good for you, it will handle it. It'll do that application.
I love actually the 843 MBR.
Great rod.
I've got into, you know, chatterbaits. Me and you've been actually talking about this swim jig on fluorocarbon. Yep. That's something I've really got into. I feel like I can get more bites. And this rod right here, it has the exact amount of tip that I'm looking for to make, you know, those little roll casts if I'm going down the bank, but then all of a sudden if I just want to bomb it, if I'm fishing grass and I just want to bomb it, it has the perfect tip where I can make, you know, the short little roll cast, the super long cast, and then like we talked about, that high power X on a hook set. I mean, I feel bad for one.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter on a long cast, when I start reeling it, it does the job that I want it to do, has a lot of power, extremely sensitive. I don't feel like I'm ever gonna miss a bite or be delayed on one. Super great hook set. So I know you have another little beauty.
Same power, so that's 843. This is a 903, 7'6". So back home, you know, I do a lot of like, you know, kind of not ledge fishing like you guys in Guntersville do, but fishing humps and shoals and things like that. A lot of worms, a lot of, you know, 1/4 ounce to 3/8 ounce jigs. I've thrown small swim baits on ball head, you know, style jig heads, things of that nature. I've caught them on chatterbaits on this rod. I actually caught some on the Junior Pompadour topwater lure on this rod. So these 7'6" rods for me is in my wheelhouse, but they make the same powers in a lot of the, you know, shorter or smaller rods. So, hey, make sure and check them out. They're available right now at tacklewarehouse.com.